Greetings all. For this speech I was asked to talk about a topic. Now, I could have complicated the matter and thought of tens of thousands of things. However, I immediately felt that I had to go by perhaps the most obvious topic of all, public speaking, and what that small and even somewhat cheesy topic actually means to me. Since I was a small child, I've enjoyed speaking. I do have autism, and that has always given me slight unease when it comes to typical conversation, hence the reason I began Toastmasters. However, organised conversation and writing have been somewhat different, in relation that is. In fact, it was this that hindered me when it came to me getting diagnosed with autism initially. It was then, 20 years ago when I was 6 years old, believed that I couldn't be autistic, as they said that I had too much of a sense of humour and verbal, though not necessarily social, communication. As a matter of fact, throughout my school years, I enjoyed writing presentations to read aloud to the class. I certainly wasn't immune to nerves, but even so, I did feel much more comfortable doing oral presentations than I did having the whole school watch me fail miserably at any kind of sports event. Thus, it didn't take long for me to have the career goal of me becoming a public speaker in mind. But even so, to be a professional public speaker, it takes so much more skill than experiences with school orals. In fact, I've found that a fair number of people who are ignorant or dismissive of the topic believe that that is merely what public speaking is. On the contrary, keynote and motivational speakers don't have the straightforward task of just conveying information they possess to an audience's ears. In addition to reading out a script, they've got to use creativity to try and convert their audience to a chosen opinion. This involves so much more skill than reciting thousands of words. They need to use persuasive words in their speeches, and their body language and tone of voice need to precisely match them. Also, a public speaker's job is hard. Their social demand is enormous. Speeches that usually have to be written by themselves are very difficult to write and rehearse, especially when they have to come up with 10,000 words, which equates to an hour talking in the space of weeks. Whenever speakers get asked to do a presentation, it's almost always rather short notice. Nerves do always come along too, especially when it comes to speaking in front of a large group of people who they've never met before. Many of us do tend to misinterpret public speaking as being much easier than it actually is. For example, in my own case, I was positively thrilled when I got the opportunity to speak at my first seminar. At that stage, I did possess some naivety to begin with. Despite knowing that my speaking skills weren't perfect and that writing the script, in addition to doing all my homework beforehand, was absolutely necessary, I didn't get a true taste of what was involved until the time to present actually came. The best way I can describe how I felt would be having a desire to sink into the ground, an urge to crumple up in tears, and an extreme feeling of nausea. While I was on stage, the script vanished from my mind, so I just had to wing it all. During the 1 hour talk, I saw many closed eyes in the audience and thought I was boring them to tears with my waffle about HSAM, anxiety and autism. So I forced myself to plough my way on in the hope that I could say to myself, at least you finished it and genuinely did your best. However, once the speech was over, I received a pleasant surprise. The audience actually liked my talk, and they even want to hear me talk again in November. Despite having wanted to be a public speaker since I was a child and having studied the topic extensively, that alone isn't enough when it comes to my hope of improving my speaking skills. Now that so many opportunities are arising for my career goal of becoming a motivational speaker, I strongly feel that learning in a practical sense at Toastmasters is very important for me. I missed so many opportunities during my school years, and I can't in any way mess this next chance up for myself. Thank you.